Hey there, are you interested in learning how to raise your vibration? Well, watch this video until the end and you will find out how to do so. Hello and welcome to FlexAwaken. I'm Luke, here to help you rise in your living experience. And for the purpose of today's video, raising your vibration, raising your frequency. So it's a blessing and an honor to have you here on the channel and try to up your game in your living experience. So first of all, let's start with a few benefits of raising your vibration. Raising your vibration brings a lot of happiness more in your life, and it brings with it a health and a certain peace and well-being. Raising your vibration allows you to attract, manifest more of what you want at a faster rate. But be careful, it's a double-edged sword. With power comes consequences. We need to be wise in how we use it, because as much as you can manifest more of what you want, you can manifest also more of what you do not want during your process of elevation, okay? Which then usually keeps us pinned down for longer, and we say it does not work because we need to reprogram the mindset as well as our energetic field. So some options about raising your vibrations. So of course, yoga, meditation, breathwork, and spiritual practices in general, praying, meditating, taking some time in nature, cleansing your body, doing some fasting, ice cold baths. All those processes really helps to raise your vibration. Of course, there comes the tricky game of our thoughts. Our thoughts are most of the time programmed and preset to lower our vibe. Our belief system does not believe that we're good enough, that we can do this, or that we have what it takes to get there. So all those things are things to watch out, okay? Some other benefits of raising your vibration means perceiving more, connecting more to the awareness which lays underneath you, the consciousness. You become consciously aware that you are aware and that your consciousness itself. This process takes a certain time, and we need to destroy our belief patterns in order to achieve it. So Abraham Hicks made a beautiful little analogy about that, and I made a drawing for you that I will show you in a moment about it. And this is that if you take an object like a balloon and you put it in the water, you put it down under the water, you have to be applying pressure downwards for this balloon to stay under the water, okay? And if you simply let go of that pressure, there's only one way for this balloon to get. So that's the way up, okay? I made a drawing for you. I'm not an artist, by the way. And so low vibe, that is a human hand, believe it or not, holding the string of the balloon submerged under the water. Down pressure, bringing you down. So often it's our environment, the people we hang around with, the activities that we do. And a lot of the time when you want to try to raise your vibration, the world around you will disapprove. So they will try to tell you, why do you do this? Why do you stop drinking? You're stupid. Why do you stop doing that activity? You're stupid. Oh, why don't you want to come with us and lower your vibe again? We all like to do this. That's all we know. Stay with us. You can't go elsewhere. And in that moment, if you're not confident, you're going to go down, back down. So it's the downward pressure. The downward pressure is all the energies around you, your lifestyle, okay? It's not only about nutrition and only about believing that you are the victim of the external world. It's about realizing, first of all, that you are the master of your world, and only this you can master. It is your world. The world around you will be what it will be. But very often, more often than not, the world around us is a reflection of our inner world in our living experience, right? So someone might see somebody die and see it as very negative. Another one might see it as a natural process of life, and everything has a beginning and an ending, and this just transforms into something different and see it as totally normal and is okay with it. So you see, one would use it as an excuse to push the balloon down with your hand there, and the other one would see it as natural, so would not have a pressure applied to it. So you would be in this category, letting go. This is a human hand again, believe it or not. And this one is letting go the balloon, the string which was holding the balloon down. So now what happens is that the balloon rises on top of the water because there is nowhere else for it to go. And on top there, we can call it our natural state, the low vibe here. And here you can call it the love vibe or high vibe. Many people call it many different ways. Sometimes using the term higher or lower is not what should be done, but our natural state is a high frequency. Our human mind keeps it at the lowest frequency. Our habitual patterns, what we do every single day, keeps us in that lower vibe, okay? So now when we surrender who we are, there is only one way for our balloon to go, our energy, and that is up, because we come from that source. We are that consciousness behind. We are a source of the creation. We are limitless beings, okay? We are creators. We can create what we want to a certain extent, depending on how much we're willing to let go. So if we let go of everything, the balloon will rise. But the mind, being the construct of the ego, finds it very difficult to let go of its identity. And that's totally fair, because recreating your life is also part of recreating who you are, your identity, okay? So I will share with you a little part of my process, whether it helps you, I hope. And for me, for example, letting go of the ego has been very difficult. And through the years, I keep letting go of more aspects of my ego. And I already took a venom of a frog called Bufo, Alvario. And this chemical, it's a venom, makes you disconnect, and they call it the ego death. I've done that multiple times and killed the ego in many ways. And then you have what I call the karmic cycles, which is the external forces, energies, which will try to come back. Because as you declutter, you still have to adapt to what's your new state. As your vibration rises, for example, as I risen my vibration, I then didn't realize that I was manifesting more shit in my life because my brain was not aligned, you see? So it was very nice to do all the process of, raise your vibration, but then if the mind is not set right, you attract more, even quicker, of what you don't want in your life. And I share with you those experiences because they are mistakes or learning curves that I have been having to go through, and every single day I try to adapt about it and try to make it more sustainable. The other part of the ego is that the ego is multifaceted. It's got many layers to it, and it's got your whole past. And for me, for example, removing the ego, I spent 1 year of really out of it, releasing everything I knew, everything I had, okay? This process has been ongoing for maybe about, 8 years or something, and then 5 years quite drastically, letting go of where I come from, leaving my country, letting go of the people around me, although I love every single one of them, but I understood that if I want to change, I have to change something. And I better learn to take the time to learn about myself, instead of trying to change the world around me, right? During that same process, I tried to change the few people's world around me too much, for example, as I was getting frustrated of blockages that I created, that my ego was not surrendering. So more it goes, more I have to constantly remain aware that I am aware, that I am the master of my thoughts, master of this mind and body. I learned the mastery of it through pushing my body in extreme sports, and also with the ice bath, for example. Meditation, breathwork, great practices to connect with the body and realize you are the master of it. Then comes the thoughts as they come. So for me, semen retention was a great asset, a great plus, because learning to surrender the thoughts about sex, our natural kind of instinct, our animal instinct, and realizing that as the most evolved species on Earth, we have the ability that instead of saying like a dog, you just need to fuck all of the time or whatever you need to do, as a human being, you're highly evolved. So you have the capacity to observe it and be like, this is a trigger of my body, a basic animal need in my body. Nothing wrong with that. But I am still the master of it. I can choose whether I'm going to entertain it or not. So this strength that it built in me allowed me to be more sharp in controlling my thoughts or not even suppressing nor controlling, I guess not entertaining them. Because do not entertain certain thoughts long enough and you free yourself from that pattern. Depending on how deep the karmic loop is, it depends on the time that you have to do this practice. But in order to raise your vibration, you need to be able to surrender the old personalities and beliefs. Not that you cannot operate in this world, you can, but you just try to operate from a neutral perspective, a letting go perspective, surrendering the need to be right. When you will feel emotions, try to not react too much to them. You can embrace it, experience it, live it, but realize that you are the nothingness behind. You are the silence behind. So you ain't gonna come like a loud voice, like somebody comes in the room, hey, I'm here. No, it's actually the one that nobody usually sees, which is the quiet one in the back that is hidden from everywhere. This is your awareness. This is where your original vibration comes from. This is where you have to look for it, because it's a lot of noise in this world. And the more you entertain yourself with noise, the less likely you are to find this. And that is absolutely fine. Some of us are not here to raise to that level, and others are. So if you're one of those who wishes and desires to rise to your natural state, well, then you need to change how you live and step out of the box thinking. That's simple. And do it again and again over a certain amount of days, weeks, months, years, until you free yourself each time from a different aspect of your ego, of your identity. And you bring in forward the identity you want to create. And a trick there, as you will get lost along the way, we all do, remind yourself, what would love do? What would something super aware who does not really care about my likes and dislikes actually think here now or do now? Because this is your awareness. This is who you are. Who you are doesn't really care who you're dating or what you're doing today, if your job is good enough for you or what. For it, you are good enough. You're plenty good enough. You won at the lottery when this sperm fertilized the egg of your mother. Out of 80 million sperms which went in at the same time, you are the one winning sperm. So your birthright, you already got given everything. That's already being successful, just being alive today. And remind yourself of that, because our programming makes it hard for us to realize how amazing and great we are in the present moment. And realizing that, becoming grateful for that, loving yourself, caring for yourself, caring for the world around you. All these are the parts of raising your vibration. Letting go, because love is about letting go. An example is just go in a relationship. You will have a beginning and an end, and it is about letting go. When someone that you love dies, it is about letting go. The experience of love is about letting go, but also creates a lot of pain. This pain can remain as pain or can become a suffering. Not easy, I know, my friends. This is why I talk about it. This is why we are here to support each other through this growth and rising phase. We want to make our life better, to make the life of the people around us better. And that's where it becomes our responsibility, in a way, to raise our frequency, our vibration, by surrendering the belief system, the identity of the past, and jumping in something new. And if you believe that your new self is a high vibrating being, which is healthy, which is abundant, which has all the love in the world, which has everything already, you then start to vibrate very high. Meditation and mantras. Mudras as well. Mudras are very powerful to balance the body, and meditational sounds. For example, a lot of those frequencies are vibrationally very high. And meditating, so discovering the stillness within yourself, wow. That is the core of who you are. You will find yourself in nothing because you come from nothing. Once upon a time, nothingness was bored of being nothing, so it created something. A lot of things. We are one of its creations to experience itself so that it doesn't get bored anymore. So if you find yourself, don't be surprised that you will not find anything there. But with it comes an enormous awareness and knowledge of the self, of the cosmos, of who you are, and the dynamics of the energies in the world. Energy cannot be destroyed, can only be transmuted. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I try to post regular content like this to create a tribe of people alike who want to raise their frequency, who wants to rise in their living experience, who want to free themselves from the burdens of the mind and gradually walk towards becoming better, greater versions of themselves, 1% better each day. Some courses will be placed as well on the website at a point or another. And those courses are to give you the tools that you can apply in your life every single day, which will gradually bring results. Patience is the key. With patience comes the understanding that everything you want is already here. But if you do not have the patience, meaning being able to let go, you can't perceive it yet because you're creating resistance and a pushing force. My friends, wonderful moment to share with you. Much love to you all. Enjoy the day. Namaste.